friends and my dear students. Today we will understand the microprocessor 8085 timing diagram for IO read and IO write cycle. So first we will concentrate ourselves to IO read cycle. And before going ahead, first we have to see what is the meaning of IO. The meaning of IO is input, output, reading. What does it mean? The different input devices are connected with the microprocessor 8085. That different input devices may be, say, our keyboard or some other input devices from where data is to be fetched by the microprocessor to inside the for different registers and for different processing. Similarly, the data may be outputted to the different monitors. Nowadays, say you are using touch screen. Same touch screen can be used as input device as well as it is used as output device. Because whenever you are touching the screen or anybody is touching the screen, actually the screen capacitance is changing. So that change in the capacitance is sensed and it will be treated as input. And at the same time, the too many things, icons and different things are displayed on the screen. So same touch screen can be treated as input device as well as it is already treated as output device. IO means input output devices which are connected with the microprocessor. Now, how this input and output devices are connected? This all that things, whether it is a memory or input or output, everything is connected through address and data bus. So this in 8085 UP, as we have seen, we are having 16 address buses. Higher order address buses ranging from A8 to A15, as well as we are having lower order address and data bus. These buses are timely shared, as we have already spoken too many times. Now, whatever the things which are connected with the microprocessor, whether it is a memory or it is a input device or it is a output device, it should be connected with this address buses. It should be connected with this demultiplexed timely shared lower order 80 to 87 buses. And the different control signals should be connected to different devices. Say the memory read signal which is generated from IO bar and read bar with this combination. Memory, it should be connected to the memory. Suppose memory write signal is there. It is generated from IO bar and write bar. It should be connected to again to the memory. And again, very important control signal, address latch enable. It should also be connected to the memory. It should also be connected to the input devices. It should also be connected to output devices. Which means this address buses, data buses and different control signals must be connected with the all the devices. Whether it is an input device, whether it is an output device or it is a different memory locations. Now the question is, how many input output devices are supported in microprocessor 8085? If you see the supported the input and output devices in 8085 MUP, the 256 input devices are supported, which means 2 to the power 8, and similarly 256 again it is 2 to the power 8 output devices are supported, which means to decode or to address this input and output devices, how many lines are required? 8 address lines are required. You can see, which means total input and output devices which are supported by 8085 microprocessor are 256 512. So this many devices can be connected with the 8085 microprocessor. Now question may be there in your mind that why so many devices are needed? Say 256 input only. It is why not we are using 1 or 2 keyboards, or why not we are using say 2-3 monitors? When you are keeping your computer in the mind. But now see, if we are considering a server which is serving so many mobile phones, say crores of mobile phones are there, too many input devices and too many output devices must be connected to the server, so that the information can be collected from different mobile phones, different touch screens that are the input devices, and similarly information should go from the server main computer to the different say mobile screens. So actually basically too many input devices are required and too many output devices are required. Say each one of you are having separate input and output devices. Thus the timing diagram for reading the IO means always reading will be from the input device. Data will be taken from input device to inside the microprocessor, and always microprocessor is doing the writing operation to the monitor. But we are calling IO means input output. So always data should be coming in from the input device and going into the output device. Now the timing diagram will have some difference in the say as far as the higher order buses are there, what should be loaded on the higher order buses and what should be loaded on the this lower order address and data buses. So today we will understand the timing diagram. Again for IO read cycle 3 T states are required, and as we have already elaborated for the memory operation, in the memory operation similar to that, initially address latch enable is to be activated during T1 clock cycle, so that the address should be holded and address should be latched. Now here in the IO read cycle, because we need 8 address lines, these 8 address lines are say may be used as A15 to A8, or we may use this common 80 to 87 buses, because in IO addressing the things are different. The address of the IO, again what is the address of the IO? Address of the IO will be say total, it is a 8-bit address, so it will be from 00 to FFH for input devices. Similarly from 00 to FFH for the output devices. That means total 256 plus 256, 512 devices can be connected with the microprocessor. Because if 8 address lines are, how these things are differentiated? Because whenever we are reading from this input devices 00 to FF, and whenever we are writing to output devices, again having the address same. That means the input device and output device can have same address also, because differentiation will be done by the control signal. That control signal is IO read signal and IO write signal, as we are remembering from Chappan Bhog 5 and 6 at the decoder logic. So at 5 number we are having IO read, at 6 we are having IO write. Now this IO read and IO write, these signals are actually differentiating these devices, which means to address actually 512 devices. 512 means 2 to the power 9. 512 actually if we will calculate 256 plus 256, total devices will be 512, which is actually equal to 2 to the power 9, which means for addressing all 512 devices actually we need the 9 lines. So where is the 9th line? These lines are generated from control signal as we have just elaborated. And what these lines are? This is IO read and IO write, which is actually generated by the hardware for the control signal generation, and this is ultimately generated from these signals IO M bar, read bar and write bar. So now we will see how we can draw the timing diagram. For drawing the timing diagram, as we are knowing, say clocks are 3 T states are required. In first T state, the ALE is very important signal. It is enabled. Say ALE is now enabled at a T1, and later on it will be disabled. Why? So that it can extract the address from the lower order bus. Now the question is, what is the need of extracting the address? Because 8 address lines are there. 8 address lines are required. Yes, it is not required. We may use this upper address lines, or we may use this. Already latch is there for extracting the address. Whenever, suppose say some address is loaded, say 15H is the address of IO device. This is the say it is the address of input. Say this keyboard is there at 15 address. This keyboard is there at 15 address. Now, when we want to read something from the keyboard, this address should be initiated. How this address should be initiated? Now, this content we may connect, as we have shown here. We may connect higher order address bus directly to address decoder. These are 8 buses which are having capability to decode this. And in this, say this 15 will be loaded at for all the times. No problem in this. Say for the all time, because it is a higher order bus, this will be loaded, and as shown in the diagram, we have connected it. So here 15H, which is the address of the keyboard input device, is loaded, and this will be activated, and data will be transferred from the keyboard. Whenever IO read signal, which is activated low, is enabling the keyboard. That means now whenever this IO read is there, the data from the keyboard will be transferred via the data bus. Now what is the status of lower order address bus? The status of lower order address bus at when ALE is activated is 15H, because here also at a time T1, the 15H will be loaded. As I told you, data buses are transferring the data at a time T2 and T3, and they are transferring the address at a time T1. So at time T1, whenever ALE is enabled, the address of the input device, which is a 8-bit address, which means duplication of this address is there. Same address will be there in the higher order address bus, as well as same address is there in the lower order address bus, which means we should not use all the buses. We can use higher order address buses, or we can use lower order AD buses. Any buses can be used. These lower order buses are already equipped with a device which is known as latch. What it will do? Latch is a flip-flop. It will hold the address. Whenever this address at T1 time is given, it will hold this address. It will keep this address 15H for full time. And after that, the content of this input device. Which input device? Keyboard will be loaded, and this will be our data. Data will be loaded at during T2 and T3 timing. Now, what are the status of these signals? IO bar signal. Because it is a IO operation, this IO bar signal must be high, and it should be high for all three T states. Because it is a IO operation, we have to read the data from keyboard input device. So IO must be at 1. IO must be at 1. And because it is a reading operation, this reading operation, read bar will be activated during T2 and T3, because reading is to be completed during T2 and T3. And this IO bar and read bar combinedly, when these signals are given to the hardware for generating the control signals, which we have already studied, the signal which is generated is IO read signal. And if you see this IO read signal, again this IO read signal will also be activated because it is generated from IO bar, this signal and read bar. So it will be also generated, it will be at the same time, say after a delay of say 21 nanoseconds, because our different hardware which we are using for generating the control signal, they are generating the delay of nanosecond, approximately 21. So as compared to microprocessor operation, 21 nanosecond can be tolerated, very less. Now with some delay, it is generating IO read bar signal. Now when this signal is generated, the content of this keyboard, suppose say we are pressing some key on the keyboard, suppose say A key is pressed and A key is generating some say code as 64H. Randomly we have taken. Whenever we are, again I am re-elaborating, whenever you are pressing any key, you are not just printing the A, you are generating a code, a binary number, and with that binary number is to be processed by the processor, and that processor, after processing that binary number, is generating a symbol A which is printed on the screen, and you are seeing yes, you have typed A. So every time what happens in the computer or in the microprocessor is, every time the one program is running, that is the operating system. Say whenever you are switching on your mobiles, one program is continuously running. Whenever you are switching on your laptops, computers, one program is continuously running. And that program which is continuously running is checking whether some key is pressed or not, whether some operation is required or not. So depending on you are pressing the different key. Suppose one off key is pressed, yes, screen will be off. Say another program is running to make the screen off. So every time one operating system is running, whenever say you are operating any device, suppose you are not writing anything on the computer, in that case also a operating system which is a lengthy program, in the microprocessor it is known as monitor program, that is running continuously. It is not stopping, it is checking whether some key is pressed or not, whether some operation is required or not. And depending on when you are pressing some key, you need some operation, then some other programs are running to facilitate your requirement. That is the main thing. So as suppose we have pressed a key A, and this data is there in the temporary register, and this processor will fetch this data 64H when during T2 and T3 timing, and thus suppose one key is pressed 64, the data here is 64H, which is equivalent to a key in the keyboard, will be coming to inside the microprocessor through data bus, through this bus. That means this 64 will be transferred through data bus to inside the microprocessor for further processing. And this is the complete, we can say, IO read cycle. But now we have to see some more diagrams. Some more diagrams means we have to see the status signals. Say what is the status of, say, S1. S, for remembering the status, I already given different clues. We are by 1 2 ka 4 4 2 ka 1, we are remembering. Say IOM bar 34 is there, read bar is 32, 31 is write bar, right? 30 is ALE, right? And near to read bar, we are having S1, which is 33 number, and near to is write bar, because here 30 at 30 ALE is there, at 29 we are having S0. And for knowing the status, I have again given you the clue. What is that? जैसा ऑपरेशन चल रहा होगा, मान लो रीडिंग ऑपरेशन चल रहा है, सपोज रीडिंग ऑपरेशन इज गोइंग ऑन, विच मीन्स फॉर रीडिंग ऑपरेशन दिस S1 मस्ट बी 1. अब S1 1 है तो S0 क्या होगा? 0 होगा. राइटिंग अगर होता तो ये 1 होता, ये 0 होता. विच मीन्स इफ यू सी द स्टेटस ऑफ S1, द स्टेटस ऑफ S1 विल बी 1 and 0, which sometimes we are not drawing this waveforms, but in the books also, different books, the status of S1 and S0 is written. So S0 status will be 1, S0 will be 0, because it is a reading operation. Reading operation है तो read के पास में जो status है that will be 1 होगा. और read बार क्या होगा? read बार 0 होगा, क्योंकि वो activated low होता है. In this way we can easily draw the timing diagram for IO read machine cycle, and it is, I think we have explained everything, and it is very easy to draw. And now after this we will understand the timing diagram for IO write operation. So we will see the IO. Okay, now we will understand the timing diagram for IO write cycle. Say some data is to be written into the monitor. Now before going ahead, I am just asking one question to you. Suppose we have read this data from the keyboard in the memory, in the IO read cycle. This data belongs to a key A, and the corresponding data is 64 hexadecimal. Where this data from the data bus will go? Data जाएगा कहाँ? In which register it will go? The very important register in the microprocessor, you are knowing, and very important register in the microprocessor, always hidden register. Whenever say it is not specified, data will go to the accumulator. In the accumulator, whenever we are having this instruction, this 64H will go to the register A, accumulator, which is very important register. Why? Because too many arithmetic, logical and different operations are carried out in the accumulator. This is about the read operation. Now we have to understand the IO write operation. Again, in the IO write operation, say this monitor is having address of, say, 59H. Say this is the address of this monitor. It is a 8-bit address, 59H hexadecimal. At this address we have to write the data which we have taken from the keyboard. As I have already explained the example. What is the example? Suppose I want to write A on the monitor. What we are doing? We are pressing some key A. Whenever we are pressing some key A is not going. Actually, a combination of bit is going. And that combination, say, for example, we have taken 64H. That is, 64H is a hexadecimal number which will be converted into binary. This binary is combination of different numbers, 8-bit number, 1 and 0. 1 means plus 5 volt, 0 means 0 volt. circuit will not understand ABCD or 64 also. It will only understand the voltage levels, whether it is at plus 5 volt or it is at 0 volt. Voltage level will be set, and that voltage levels are treated as 1 and 0, and combination of this 1 and 0 are capable of generating different things. Say as in our case, A will be transferred by IO cycle through this data bus to inside the accumulator. Accumulator means whenever it is going inside the microprocessor, it is going to the accumulator. Whenever we are having IO read or IO write operation. Now, this data 64H is to be transferred to monitor. Monitor is having address of 59H. So, how it should be transferred, that we will understand. It is the data input and data output. We are having two instructions in the 8085 microprocessor. These instructions are for input just in. Very simple instruction is there, in, and then we are writing address. Say address 15H. That means data from the port number 15 should be transferred to the accumulator. Similarly, for data output in the microprocessor 8085, we are having instruction out, say 59H. If you are writing out 59H, which means the data which is there in the accumulator will be transferred to this output device addressed by this. This is the address. It is not a data. Data कहाँ है? Data तो accumulator में है. वो ट्रांसफर होगा. ये ट्रांसफर नहीं होगा. 59 ट्रांसफर नहीं. 59 तो एड्रेस है. And for IO, the addressing is different. Addressing is different means it is 8-bit address. Now we will understand. We are having data in the accumulator as 64H. Our output monitor address is 59H, which can be decoded by address decoder. And this data 64H from the accumulator via the data bus must be transferred to the monitor. And at the monitor we will see A, which is equivalent of this. क्योंकि कीबोर्ड से हमने प्रेस किया है, बाद में वो बाइनरी कन्वर्शन हुआ. Again it is going and we will see A in the monitor. See the process, but this process is carried out during few microseconds, very fast. So no problem in that. So we are just saying, we are not bothering about the whenever application, the users are there. Users are not knowing the machine language. That's why we are saying machine languages are language of in hexadecimal, in binary. These languages are somewhat complex as compared to user languages. User languages are what? C, Python, Java. These are user languages. Simple. Okay. Now we are coming back to our IO write cycle. At T1 T state, the ALE will be enabled during T1 and it will be disabled for rest of the time T2 and T3. Whenever ALE is enabled, the content of, now see the higher order address. Higher order address, because it is a write operation to the monitor, it is out operation from the microprocessor. The address of monitor, which is 59H, will be loaded on the higher order address bus. And what is about the lower order? In the lower order address bus also, the same address 59H will be loaded. Same address on the higher, same address on the lower address buses. Lower address buses are controlled by ALE signal. So we may use for decoding this or this. No problem in that. Sometimes one student asks me the question, say sir, suppose one wire we are using from here and rest 7 wires we are using from here. You can use, no problem. Yes, no problem. You can use like that also. But generally, we are using this 8 or this 8, or you can use some combination. Suppose we are using 3 wires from here and other 4 wires from here, no problem, it can be used. But generally we are using higher order or lower order, and it is better for simplicity. As in the diagram also, I have drawn the higher order address which is fed to the address decoder, so that a particular location can be actuated. And whenever control signals are given to that particular location, to that location the data will be transferred. Whenever we are saying data transfer means it is a data copy operation. ट्रांसफर का ये मतलब नहीं है कि इधर जीरो हो गया कुछ, यहां से मान लो इधर ट्रांसफर हुआ, इसका मतलब जीरो नहीं हुआ, ये दिस डेटा विल बी ट्रांसफर्ड. ओके, नाउ द स्टेटस ऑफ दिस AD0 to AD7 buses, because it has to carry the address, it will be 59H. And if you see the IOM bar, because it is a IO operation, this IOM bar must be high throughout the all 3 T states, T1, T2, T3. Now, what is the status of read bar? Because it is a writing operation, read bar will not be activated. Will not be activated means read bar is activated low, so it should be high. अभी यहाँ पर because it is a write operation, it is not required, so we have to concentrate to write bar. What is the status of write bar? Write bar will be activated low to facilitate the write operation, and it will be low for T2 and T3, so that the data transfer is facilitated, so that data, ताकि ये जो डेटा है T2 और T3 टाइम में मॉनिटर में चला जाए, इस एड्रेस पे चला जाए. So in relation with IOM bar and write bar, we are having hardware for generating the control signal. What is that control signal? IO write bar. What is the status of IO write bar? If you see IO write bar will be activated low for T2 and T3, and this IO write bar is enabling the monitor. It will enable the monitor at what time? At T2 and T3. This monitor will be activated, which is at address 59H, during T2 and T3 timing, whenever control signal is generated by the microprocessor. Again, it is fed to a hardware which we have already studied, and from that hardware IO write bar is generated. Again, we are remembering from Chappan Bhog IO write bar is till number 6 of the decoder. 3 to 8 decoder we have seen. So from there the IO write bar is connected here, and this will be enabled. Whenever it is enabled, this data will be transferred via data bus to the monitor, and at the monitor you will see this A, which is actually the data fed by your keyboard coming to the monitor, and in this way we can complete the timing diagram. And as usual we can draw also, no problem, but in the different books, different literature also, with respect to IOM bar, this status of S1 and S0 is indicated, so we are also indicating it, so that no confusion should be there in study. Whatever we are studying at the board, whatever notes are given to you, PDF notes, and whatever you are reading in the books, so for making the similarity, so that your understanding will be better, we can write like this. Otherwise we can draw this also, no problem in that. Now see how to remember this, because write bar with S0 is close to write bar, it is a writing operation, so S0 will be equal to 1 for writing operation, and if it is 1 it will be 0. Simple. Now you will feel the say initially we have given you some formulas for remembering these pins. Now you will feel the utility of that. Yes, we have to remember. Yes, ये यहाँ 4 to 1 है. यहाँ here at 33 we are having S1 which is close to read bar. Accordingly to read bar it is ready signal, it is operated. According to write bar it is close to S0. S0 is operated according to write bar. So this is all about the IO write cycle. Now this is the complete timing diagram for IO write cycle, and so during T2 and T3, whenever this IOW bar is activated, the lower order AD0 to AD7 buses will contain 64H, which is from the accumulator. Thus the data from the microprocessor, this 64H, will be transferred via data bus to the monitor, and at the monitor the equivalent of that 64H, which is A, which we will see. So this is the complete timing diagram for IO write cycle as you are seeing. So thank you very much.